We now turn our attention to golf, an upcoming PGA Championship being held at the TPC Harding Park course. 7,234 yards, par 70. It's going to be a tough test. And the usual thing to play on this one, we're going to be looking for players that hit the ball long. That's an asset on any course, but it's going to be particularly important here with such a long distance to cover and just a par 70 to account for. We've been looking for players that draw the ball from right to left off the tee. Going to give a preference to those players. There's a lot of good players around, like Rahm, who likes to fade the ball. Koepka likes to turn the ball over from left to right and fade it. They're obviously in with a chance, being top players, but I think this course will suit those that can draw the ball. That's what a lot of the tee shots demand. So that will be a feature we're looking for in the players we select. We're probably going to look at players that haven't won a major yet. Often we're looking for pedigree in the majors, players that have proven themselves under pressure, those that have won majors before. But I think in the PGA you can open your mind a little bit and be a bit more open with your selections and maybe select some players that are knocking on the door, because of all the majors, the PGA is the one where major victories are most likely. So that's a factor as well. We've also got to think about the fact there won't be any crowds, obviously because of the COVID-19 pandemic. There won't be any crowds. The players will play in a slightly different environment. Tiger won't have the big crowds chasing him around, which obviously offer him some support, but they also offer him a hindrance on occasion. So we have to think of this factor, the crowd. Which players are going to possibly perform better in these sort of conditions. So because it's a strange major in the sense there's no crowds and it's a slightly different atmosphere, we may be able to throw in the odd long shot as well. You might get a shock result. That's also a factor. Often the cream rises to the top. You'll often see people looking at the shortest odds in the market, the Justin Thomases, the Koepkas, the Schauffele's, these type of guys. The Tiger Woods is usually. His price is a little bit bigger this week. But yeah, we often look towards the shorter players, but we should also look at some longer shots as well. Maybe there's a chance to get a bit of value because of the strange circumstances they're playing in. You never know, you might get a freak result or an unexpected result. So let's get straight into it. I've already talked about the usual suspects. In terms of the short prices, obviously there's going to be the McIlroys, the Koepkas, these type of players. The ones I've narrowed down are Koepka, Schauffele and Cantlay. Those are the three. Schauffele is able to turn the ball over from right to left. So is Cantlay. So they meet that criteria. They're good drawers of the ball. Koepka fades it usually, but he went close last week. He'll be a little bit annoyed about how he played on the 18th hole. Ball went in the water on the final hole, went in with a chance and let Justin Thomas have the victory basically. But we know how many wagers he's won. In recent years he's been very prolific. So we can't really rule Koepka out. He's a very short 9-1. But I wouldn't. It's very difficult to leave him out. Schauffele's been knocking on the door. He's a top player. We know that. He's won some big events. Cantlay, classy player. Did well in the Masters last time out. A lot of people fancy him this week, and his odds are 22-1. Schauffele 16-1. Those are the three I'd be looking at the top end of the market. I'd also like to say there's a lot of good offers on with bookies this week. You can get 11 places with Sky Bet, 10 places Paddy Power Betfair, William Hill 9 places. So shop around and have a look. You're going to get plenty of places. I don't think I've ever seen 11 places offered, and 10 places is pretty good as well. I think my prices are from Paddy Power at 10 places. So yeah, shop around and get the best value. So those odds I just gave you: Koepka 9-1, Schauffele 16-1, and Pat Cantlay 22-1 are all on a 10 place basis over at Paddy Power. So that's who I'm using this week. Moving on down the list, I've got Tiger Woods 28-1. Now, a lot of times on this channel I've ruled out Tiger Woods and said, the price is too short. I think 28-1's a decent price. It's recently been around 14s and 16-1s in majors. Got a little bit on there at 28-1, a little bit extra. We know there's a deal with Tiger. He knows how to win a major. And he just powers it through. He just grinds it out. He knows how to get it done. He knows how to keep the ball in play. Hits it plenty far enough. Won the Masters recently. I don't even need to go into Tiger's credentials, do I? So I'm going to leave it at that. The price is a bit bigger than it normally is, and he would have prepared for this in his own time. I've heard he's been practicing with Jason Duffner. having a few practice rounds. So I'm going to go with Tiger Woods 28 to 1. I'm going to go with Tommy Fleetwood 35 to 1. Great player, very good record, risen up the rankings a lot recently. Seen what he can do. He's done a lot in the Ryder Cup for Europe. And for me, he's a player that's knocking on the door of a major. And 35 to 1. Not saying it's the biggest number in the world, but I think it's fair enough. And I'm going to go with Fleetwood this week, or going to certainly look at him to do well this week. We've got Justin Rose. Is that a massive 50 to 1? I mean, just a year ago, you'd expect Rose to be down at 22 to 1. They're offering him at 50. It's obviously because of form. He hasn't done that much recently, but obviously we've had a break with the pandemic, and he's the type of player that will be on the practice ground working on his swing and grinding things out, getting his technique right, working with his team. A VJ Singh type character, someone with that sort of work ethic, and I fancy Rose to show up. Obviously he changed to those Honma golf clubs. I think it was from TaylorMade, and obviously that's taken some time for him to settle with, but I think he will have got on top of it now. And when you see a major champion like Rose available at 50 to 1, you better take notice. Won that the US Open 2013 at Merion. So Merion's a tough course. He knows how to navigate tough courses. He's got that major winning pedigree. He's been around forever. Justin Rose 50 to 1, would look at that. Going to look at Matthew Wolfe at 90 to 1. Very big hitter. He's won on the PGA Tour. Went close a couple of weeks ago. Should have won probably. I think he held a crucial putt at the right time on the back nine. He would have actually won a tournament 2 weeks ago. He's a good player. He's got a lot of ability. He's got the distance. He's obviously got to control his accuracy, but 90 to 1, he's in the game. Similar things to say about Cameron Champ, major winner on the US PGA Tour, another young gun. 125 to 1's a big number. Huge hitter of the ball. Tremendous lag in his swing and a lot of ability. If he fancies it and everything goes his way and the putter works, he's got a chance. I think 125 to 1 is big. Ian Poulter, 150 to 1. We know about him. In his 40s now, not won a major, but so many times he surprises me. In majors and the standard PGA Tour events, he turns up on the leaderboard because he knows how to get around the course. He's got that course management, experience, all the Ryder Cup experience. He's someone that always gets left out, and then when you look at the leaderboard, you see Poulter, 10th or 8th, or, challenging, or, going into the final round with a chance. So 150 to 1, I'm not going to make that mistake this week. I'm going to take that price. And with these sorts of odds, 150 to 1 on Poulter, 125 to 1 on Champ, you don't have to go mad with the stake, but you can go each way. And with these 10 place, 11 place terms available with bookies, you're in with a chance of picking up a return. My big long shot for the week is Kurt Kitayama. He's a big player on the European Tour. He's a big hitter, hits the ball a long way. He's 300 to 1, 10 places in the betting, so I'm going to go for him. He's a star on the European Tour. Yes, he hasn't really produced it in major championships, or maybe hasn't set alight the PGA Tour, any events on the PGA Tour so far, but I know his ability. He's a young gun. Coming up, 300 to 1, I'll take a chance on him each way. I'm also going to go with Paul Casey at 90 to 1. Now, that's a tremendous price for a notorious big hitter of the ball, notorious Ryder Cup player, notorious experience, multiple time winner on the PGA Tour. Probably about time he won a major. If Casey went his full career and never won a major, it would be a bit of a surprise because he's got the ability. One on the PGA Tour, one on the European Tour. Big Ryder Cup player, big hitter of the ball. He's got the temperament to do well, so 90 to 1, I'll take that. Also going to go with Tony Finau at 40 to 1. Lost a bit of faith in Finau in recent times because although he's always up there, he seems to have a difficulty getting over the line. So there seems to be some sort of mental barrier there. But if you look at his major record, it's absolutely stellar. He's been in the top 10 in so many majors in recent times that it's hard to leave him out. And the price has drifted slightly to 40 to 1. Finau, you usually see him around 30 to 1, 28 to 1, 33 to 1. Well, the fact that he's 40 to 1, 10 places, I can't miss out. So I'm also going to throw Tony Finau into the mix. So it's a 156-man field. So I've given a few names there. With 156 players, it's very difficult to just pick out one and say that this guy's going to go and win it. So I've given a few selections. So just to run it down, we've got Brooks Koepka, 9 to 1. These are all on a 10-place basis. Schauffele, 16 to 1. Pat Cantlay, 22 to 1. Tiger Woods 28 to 1, Tommy Fleetwood 35 to 1, Justin Rose 50 to 1, Wolfe 90 to 1, Champ 125 to 1, Poulter 150 to 1, Kitayama 300 to 1, Casey 90 to 1, and Finau 40 to 1. Those are the main ones I'm looking at. So those are the ones I'll be looking to perform. Those are the ones I think present a bit of value. You've also got notable mentions. You've got Louis Oosthuizen hanging around at 66 to 1. I think Mark Leishman is around a similar sort of price. You know, Oosthuizen's won 2 majors. He's shown some good form recently. Leishman, always dependable, always overlooked. Keeps the ball in play. Multiple winner on the PGA Tour. He's been second in the British Open 2015, so knows how to perform in majors. So those are 2 notable mentions I'd throw in as well. Please give any comments on who you think has a chance. Please let us know what your thoughts are, who's the value. Enjoy the event, it's going to be great. It's the first major of the year. It'll be a nice thing to uplift us and give us some sporting entertainment with all this pandemic and all that going around. So it should be fun. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.